He was the kind of man who kept his porch light off, his blinds pulled tight, and his mornings predictable. A single mug of black coffee, a dirt trail through the pine woods behind his house in Clarksville, Tennessee, and exactly 25 minutes of silence before the world started asking things of him. That was enough. That had always been enough. But the woods had other plans. It was a Thursday in early November when he heard it, a sound so small it nearly didn't reach him. A whimper, then another, then three at once layered over each other like a chord nobody asked to hear. He stopped walking, looked down, and there, half buried beneath the exposed roots of a fallen pine, were three Rottweiler puppies, no more than 5 weeks old, shaking, exhausted, completely alone. He scanned the tree line for their mother. Nothing moved. He knelt slowly, the way you do when you're not sure what you're walking into. The biggest one, dark as midnight with a chest already too broad for his age, didn't flinch. He just stared, steady, unblinking, like he was making a decision that mattered. The second one, smaller and quicker, crawled straight toward Daniel's hand and pushed her cold nose into his palm without hesitation. The third pressed herself deeper into the roots, trembling in a way that made his chest tighten. Daniel sat there for a long time. He told himself he'd carry them home just to warm them up, get some food into them, make a few calls to the shelter over in Springfield in the morning. He had no fenced yard, no dog bowls, no plan. He was a single man in a mid-size house with zero experience raising a Rottweiler, let alone 3. He carried them home in his jacket. The bold one he called Titan, the curious one who found his hand, Luna, and the small one still shaking in the corner of his bathroom floor he called Sage. He didn't sleep that night, not because they were loud, they were actually remarkably quiet for 3 puppies dropped into a strange house. He didn't sleep because every time he closed his eyes, he thought about what that trail looked like after dark, what sounds moved through those woods once the light was gone, and what 3 small things, barely 5 weeks old, would have faced out there if he had walked 5 minutes earlier, or 5 minutes later, or taken the other path entirely, the one he almost chose, or not walked at all. He lay on his back on the bathroom tile next to them until 4 in the morning, one hand resting near Sage so she could feel him without being touched. By morning, the shelter calls never happened. Within 3 weeks, the house had completely reorganized itself around them. Titan claimed the right side of the couch and defended it with the certainty of someone who had reviewed the mortgage documents and found his name listed. Luna developed a habit of carrying one of Daniel's gloves through the house every morning, not chewing it, not playing with it, just carrying it, like it was her assigned task, and she took that task with complete seriousness. Sage, the smallest, the one who trembled hardest, became the quietest and the most watchful. She didn't follow Daniel from room to room, she positioned herself, doorways mostly, always facing out. Daniel noticed it after the first few weeks. Wherever he settled, Sage was in the nearest doorway, body still, eyes on the hall. He didn't say anything about it, but he noticed. If you're still watching but haven't hit subscribe yet, I'll be honest, that stings a little. Go ahead and press that button now. You really don't want to miss what comes next. Months passed. Titan grew into something that made strangers on the sidewalk quietly cross to the other side. 118 pounds of muscle, black and tan, with a gaze that landed on you like a firm hand on the shoulder. But inside the house, he slept with his chin resting on Daniel's knee every single evening he could manage it. Luna taught herself to nudge the back door open with her snout, which was genuinely impressive and also immediately a problem. Sage, the smallest, the one who trembled hardest, became the quietest and the most watchful. She didn't follow Daniel from room to room, she positioned herself, doorways mostly, always facing out.
Daniel started talking to them, not the way most people talk to dogs, the high voice, the short words. He talked to them the way you'd speak to someone who might actually have something to say back. He told them about his day, about the job that kept getting heavier, about the quiet that used to feel like relief and lately felt like something else he couldn't quite name. Stories like this don't get told enough. The slow ones, the ones where nothing dramatic has happened yet, and somehow that's exactly what makes them matter. He took them on the same dirt trail every morning, the same one where he'd found them. Titan always walked ahead, like he owned the path. Luna always stopped at the fallen pine and sniffed the roots, every single time, without fail, like she remembered. And Sage always walked beside Daniel, not behind, beside. Then came March. Daniel got sick, not a passing cold, something worse, a fever that climbed past 104 and didn't stop, the kind that tilts the walls and makes the floor feel unreliable, the kind where you stop trusting your own perception of distance. He made it to the couch sometime after noon and didn't make it much farther. He pulled a blanket over himself and remembers thinking he should probably call someone, his brother in Nashville maybe, or the neighbor across the street. And then that thought just dissolved into the heat and the ceiling and the low hum of the refrigerator. What he remembers next is weight, distributed, warm, and completely still. Titan had stretched himself along Daniel's legs. Luna was pressed against his back, and Sage had left the doorway. For the first time since Daniel had brought her home, she had abandoned her post. She was curled against his chest, her head tilted upward, watching his face with those dark, patient eyes. None of them moved for hours, not one. Daniel's neighbor stopped by the next morning, found the front door unlocked, and discovered all 4 of them still on that couch. She told Daniel later he looked like he'd been guarded through the night. He told her she wasn't wrong. He was at the clinic 2 days later. Nothing permanent, the doctor said, just rest and fluids. Daniel nodded and didn't mention the part about the 3 Rottweilers who had apparently decided that rest was non-negotiable. He still walks that dirt trail every morning. Titan still leads. Luna still stops at the fallen pine and sniffs those roots like they hold some answer she hasn't found yet. Sage still walks beside him, not behind, beside. The porch light is on now. It has been since that February night on the couch. Daniel hasn't thought much about why. He just noticed one evening that he'd started leaving it on, and then he kept doing it, and now it feels like the most natural thing in the world. People ask Daniel sometimes how he ended up with 3 Rottweilers. He usually says it was an accident, a wrong turn on a Thursday walk, the wrong tree roots on the wrong morning. But here's the thing about accidents. Sometimes they find you because you were exactly where you were supposed to be. And sometimes the family you never went looking for is the only one that could have found you. Daniel didn't rescue Titan, Luna, and Sage. He just happened to be on the right path at the right time. They did the rest. If you're thinking about opening your home to a dog, especially one the world has already decided it's afraid of, please do it. Reach out to a rescue, ask the hard questions, give them the right love. Because some animals spend their whole lives in doorways, watching, waiting, protecting. All they need is someone to finally let them in. Did Daniel rescue them, or did they rescue him? Tell me in the comments.